A new update for contractors at Bahamas.
I have taken position that I want the Bahamian contractors to be paid.
Also, the Brussels bombing suspect, an update.
The Belgians have come back to us and said that the matter was done in error.
Also,
an alarm was triggered. An alarm had activated. The fire alarm system here had activated.
A scare that left workers on the outside. And in Martinique, more gold for Team Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The nation's leader announcing plans to move the economy forward. It's Monday, Thursday. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Eltaviz Munnings.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kish Latterly. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping the news tonight, the mid-year budget passed last evening in the House of Assembly, with the Prime Minister highlighting a number of plans to shore up the economy.
Well, from the Bahamas Project to Family Island developments, Prime Minister Christie said government is working to ensure job creation.
His comments came as the mid-year debate wrapped up in Parliament last evening. Our Jiminita Swain was there.
Prime Minister Christie updated Parliament Wednesday on the plans to restart the construction of the stalled Bahamas project. As he wrapped up the budget debate, Mr. Christie told Parliament that he's optimistic that ongoing negotiations toward that end are productive.
On one hand, a major effort is being made by the construction company and the bank to agree on a formula for the construction company to restart and to finish, pending their determination of who will be the person or the company getting it. My sense is that they are well on their way in that regard. And so I anticipate, when I take worst case scenarios, I anticipate, right, that is a process that will take place this year, right, and that completion will be this year.
Mr. Christie said getting the issues resolved has been an agonizing effort on his part, but he also made it clear that he wanted contractors to get what's due to them.
I have taken position that I want the Bahamian contractors to be paid. Let me just say this for the construction company. The construction company has said they will only come onto the site on the condition that they pay in full the Bahamian contractor. Okay.
As for the International Monetary Fund's most recent report, the Prime Minister said it's predicting growth of 1.5% for the economy. He also outlined other projects in the pipeline which would mean job creation in the Family Islands. He noted that there was some strong support from the IMF for his administration's fiscal planning related to the value-added tax structure.
Continued fiscal consolidation is critical for rebuilding fiscal and external policy buffers and boosting investor confidence. Policy priorities include: 1. Resolute implementation of the current VAT regime with few exemptions. The authorities should resist pressures to weaken the VAT regime's efficiency through the introduction of exemptions.
Over the next few months, Mr. Christie said his government will be very busy with new and ongoing projects.
Bimini today is completing the final 80 rooms and the connection between the casino and the hotel, and looking for another 100 jobs immediately. Right? They're having a job fair this week. So Bimini has now, will be up to, 800, 900 jobs and counting. Bakers Bay came to us and said they build 30 homes a year. They could build 60 if we liberalize the work permit regime. What then happened is we said, okay, let's see how we could do this. They have around 1,300 employees now, okay? And it's a recession-proof development. The top people from Wall Street, the top people in movie stars, top people are there. And so what has happened now, they have been joined by Winding Bay which was owned by Marriott and Ritz-Carlton, the Winding Bay people are now dusting themselves off, getting all restructured and whatnot. They have some implications with the marina that they want in terms of Save the Bay and all that sort of stuff going on. But it's a development where they're saying they will be able to have 1,500 jobs, and they will be able to have $200 million worth of construction over the next 3 or 4 years.
The House of Assembly is expected to reconvene on April 25th. Chimanita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Also, during debate in the House last evening, National Security Minister, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage, outlined what he termed the key reasons for crime, as illegal drugs, illegal guns, and at-risk youth. Dr. Nottage explained that the drug trade has led to increased levels of violence, from petty theft to murder. He also provided statistics for the first 3 months of the year.
But murders are down 23%, attempted murder is down 50%, rape is down 38%, unlawful sexual intercourse down 16%, robberies down 22%. That's year to date. That's almost 3 months. It is some progress.
Yes, it is.
And I hate to talk about progress in periods like that, because as soon as you do that, a whole lot of other things happen.
The National Security Minister also provided additional statistics of guns being taken off the streets and the number of teens in prison.
During 2015, a total of 359 firearms and 5,200 rounds of ammunition was seized by the police. And thus far this year, they have already seized over 100 guns and 2,000 rounds of ammunition. At this time, Mr. Speaker, we have in prison over 100 young persons between the ages of 17 and 20. All, save for 2, are male.
Meantime, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, addressed Parliament last evening as well, giving an update on Bahamas Power and Light Company and speculation over job losses. He assures that all stakeholders are sensitive to this issue.
There's been much said about the sale of about the scale of potential downsizing at BEC. Right? There's been much said about the scale of the potential downsizing at BEC. I've already put it on record that the government, the board, and Power Secure are extremely sensitive to this issue. And I can say, as I've said before, we do not expect, nor are there any immediate plans for any staff reductions in the near future. And if they are to be in later on, this will be done over time and in a manner that is fully open with key stakeholders and employees themselves.
The Deputy Prime Minister added that BPL consumers are now enjoying reduced electricity rates, the lowest in about 10 years.
We see this demonstrated by the residential customer who would have consumed 500 kilowatt hours of electricity in October 2014, being billed at, say, $196.29. Today, that same customer is paying $99.65, a saving of almost 97. That's progress.
Meanwhile, number houses have decreased by almost a half. This, according to Gaming Minister, the Honorable Obi Bolshcom, in the House of Assembly last evening. He said it's all a part of the new legislation to manage gaming and assist those who are gaming addicts. The concern was raised by Montague MP Richard Lightbourne.
Legislation was first introduced. It was my understanding that there was going to be a fund set aside to assist with those persons who were regarded as having an addiction. And I don't know what government's position is on that, but as far as I can see, there are many, many people in this country who have an addiction, and I just wondered what government proposes doing to assist those persons.
The tourism minister replied that not only are gaming houses doing their part to treat addicts as prescribed by the law, but the ministry is also formulating an assistance program.
The truth is, some of the gaming houses are engaged in programs themselves. The ministry itself is creating a program, Mr. Speaker, where we will have individuals, professionals who will be advising on how best to deal with it, Mr. Speaker. But it's a very good question. It's all intended to, as he says, manage the growth and development of the gaming industry. Remember, Our objective was to ensure that the proliferation, we did not want it to grow to the pace where it's just going to be everywhere, and that's why it's important to note we had more than 600 houses before. Now there are less than 300 the facilities. And Mr. Speaker, that we're moving now to ensure that we have the foundation in place, and of course what you're asking about the addiction, persons who are to be treated who are addicted to gaming. All a part of the programs.
Well, Prime Minister Christie had more to say last night on the ongoing saga, defending his integrity in the face of the Peter Nygard-Louis Bacon saga. Mr. Christie made it clear that he jealously guards his reputation in public life and makes what he considers the right decisions. He was rather emphatic that he would have no one attempting to say otherwise. He also carefully outlined his involvement with Mr. Bacon and Mr. Nygard on various environmental issues, especially the injunction currently in place involving the land dispute between the two.
I always said if Save the Days was genuine in wanting a proper hearing to arrive at the truth of the matter, then the matter should be lifted and go to a hearing so the environmental studies and arguments could be put so everyone could see that the government acted properly, both in my ministry and in his ministry. But that's not the intention. That's not the intention. But this is what bothers me, was that Mr. Bacon owed me a communication to the effect that, Prime Minister, I no longer have confidence in what you're doing because of the following things.
Well, the Prime Minister also explained why he was working to have the matter resolved.
I want these people to settle this. I want them to meet. And I was very naive, I guess, in this regard. But I made every effort for them to compromise the way in which they were fighting at each other. Because it was so apparent to everyone that two very wealthy men were having a fight, and only the country could suffer as a result.
Well, still on news from Parliament, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Fred Mitchell, updated House members on the nationality of that terrorist linked to those Belgium attacks this week, who was said to have ties to the Bahamas. Minister Mitchell said a number of checks were done.
The Belgians have come back to us and said that the matter was done in error, and that it appears that the person was a Moroccan citizen of birth and assumed Belgian nationality. Both persons were Moroccan at birth and assumed Belgian nationality. They have no explanation as to why it suddenly ended up being Bahamas, but by email they've admitted that it's an error and will seek to make appropriate steps to try and get the matter corrected, since they're the one who's responsible for making the entry.